All right. I bet y'all were wondering what this title of this video means. So let's get at it and discuss it, okay? What is Telosa? Before we get into it, understand that I'm not going to put up images of that actual city not inside of this video, but in the description. You can go to the website and find out what Telosa will be. So the images you're going to see are all from my Vecteezy license as stated in the beginning of this video. Okay? So, Telosa is a reminder of a live I had recently that very few of you attended or went back and watched later, in which I was talking about a future smart city in Japan where everyone was going to have to contribute. And how I told you the way things go down in the United States, this nation is not going to not jump on that bandwagon for its own benefit. Now, I told y'all this. And I told you this would come to the United States sooner rather than later because with our wanting to move towards the AI sphere for the future, United States is not going to sit back and take it lightly. We're going to go ahead and start automating, okay? Well, sooner got here rather than later. Telosa does not exist yet, but it is a concept by a billionaire who's working together with the best in the industry to create a smart city, a green city, a livable city where people can go into natural landscapes. So, I'm going to touch on two questions here. The first, where will Telosa be located? So right now they're looking to build it out somewhere in the natural spaces in Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Texas, Appalachian region. It does not specify if they've had talks with all of those states and regions or if one is going to be that. They are not real sure which one. Idaho's pretty. That's like kind of the Pacific Northwest like I am. Okay. We'll answer the second question momentarily because the second question will be the meat and potatoes of this live. If you caught this live, of course, some of y'all will go back and watch it later. This place will build its entire existence on a concept called circular materials economy. And what that means is, because I'm not going to tell y'all everything, I gave you the link, you can go read it. Because the head kicker at the end, and I'm going to save that because that's the juicy tidbit, is when they're going to start this city. A circular materials economy basically states that when something is gotten rid of or you don't fully use it, you cycle it to someone else who can make use so that it doesn't go into a landfill. That is the basics of it. So what I'll do is leave this slide up on circular materials economy so that you can look into it or sit here and read it and then look into it while I make a few points and then go to the second question. Because that first question's on their website and so is the second question. We're only going to cover 2 points. Like I said, go do your research. So, Telosa in the near future is a city that will be in the middle of nowhere with beautiful walkways and natural landscapes. Go look at their pictures. I don't want to use them in part because it could be copyright issues and also because you need to research these things yourself. Smaller electric vehicles and flying vehicles are the intimate transportation, though I see scooters and bicycles as well. So the cars that we drive currently will not be allowed within the city limits of Telosa. You'll have to go look at the type of cars they have and how they're clean and efficient. The mass transportation will be small and scaled back, but it will be efficient. They're going to start this with a blank slate, putting people at the center of the entire community. You'll be able to get around this huge city the way they're going to build their efficient transportation tops 15 minutes. They're going to start building soon. I'll get to that at the end of this video because it's going to solidify something I've been telling you. If you've been watching my videos in 2024, you'll know what I'm talking about. The city will start with 50,000 diverse people that will grow to 5 million. Second question. This is going to be a long answer. I'm going to read it at a pace that you catch what these people are saying and interpret it in your own way, but I'll give you pros and cons in my interpretation. So let me take a sip right quick of this salt water because my throat's a little dry. Again, the slide for circular materials economy will stay up for a little bit so that you all can look that up if you like. Second question, who will live in the city of Telosa? This city is built for everyone. This is not a private city. We want Telosa to be representative of our society. We want to create an environment in the city where everyone can reach their full potential. We want to attract those who want to be part of building something better. Just like many of our predecessors, the initial residents will be pioneers such as entrepreneurs in all industries, educators, manufacturers, artists, students, builders, telecommuters, mentors, and corporations. In some cases, we will invest capital in new businesses coming to Telosa. As we grow organically, we will continue to attract diverse businesses while expanding to a wider audience of residents looking for a higher quality of life. That second question in a nutshell is what this city of Telosa will be. And when you go watch their 4-minute demo video, it's clear that this thing is going to happen whether everybody wants it to or not. Okay? Because someone's going to touch on this sooner or later. So I'm going to list, okay, 3 pros and then 3 cons of this. If you listen to this closely, okay, you can interpret what you like out of it. So my first pro, no one wants to live in a city where people purposely trash it. So no graffiti, no trash on the ground. This is stuff that can be prevented. No unsavory liquids. They did not say that chewing gum, I didn't find anything saying that chewing gum would be impermissible, whatever that word is, or won't be permitted. But you can deduce that chewing gum won't be something that people will be allowed to just paw and put on the ground, okay? In truth, the ideal city is a nice place where it is clean, the air is fresh, and you don't have unnecessary debris and unnecessary art that is in places it has no business. And this goes for certain bodily fluids, and I'll let you use your imagination on that. The mention of artists is numbered the second pro. Here's why this is important in a city that wants to be a smart city and move towards the future. See, the reason I started making soap by hand again, because it doesn't surprise me, okay, that things like making soap, having a personal song composed for you, okay, is something that people are going to look for again. As wages rise, right? People are gonna want higher quality to match those higher wages. It's no sense in getting something on a, and I put in parentheses, discount, if the discount is gonna be crap and you're gonna have to go pay more money. It doesn't shock me to see YouTube videos popping up of people making purses from scratch and sending them all over the world because people want that stuff. Because they'd much rather have something handmade. The fact that there's an Etsy does not shock me, and I shop that place quite often. Now, I buy AI created photos of myself because y'all see them in the beginning of my video. This is just me embracing the reality, embracing the machine that's coming. But I'm smart enough to know that it's okay to want a artisanal product, right? That is homemade from scratch. Some people may want some chocolates, truffles made from someone in this city. Someone may want my soap. Someone may want a dress made from scratch that someone had sewn that can be used and reused and passed down. Okay? What's the moral of this story here? I took from looking up Telosa that they recognized when they said artists, that some parts of artificial intelligence cannot remove authenticity. If you want chocolates that were made from scratch that day, cookies made from scratch, bread made from scratch. Some people, now that we know that mass production is counterintuitive to our bodies. Some people are going back to mom and pop bakeries. Some people are going to go back to buying my soap when it cures and I can start selling it. This is just a fact. If you go and Google careers that AI cannot replace, they're indicating you that they want cities with future artisans making things that people can buy that will be high quality and they won't mind paying for it. That is the underlining message. That's what I take from it, though. And my last pro is the higher quality of life. If you go look at the videos, you cannot have cars with smog coming in, okay? What you cannot do in this city is, again, not graffiti. We went into that. There's going to be a lot of walking, okay? So they're building this place to where you're surrounded by green and beautiful natural landscapes. That means your every day is going to be beautiful sunrises and sunsets because they're trying to, based on the locations, put it in a desertous area where you can walk around and be within nature while being in a city at the same time. So let me get some more of this water. My bad, y'all. My throat really dry today. So now let's get to the cons. When they answered this question, they started off with, on that second question, who will live in the city of Telosa? This city is built for everyone. I don't know that I believe that because some people don't know how to act right in a so-called civilized society, but I'll let y'all use y'all's imagination. It's that second sentence. That's the first con. This is not a private city. I would need to get clarification on what they mean by not private. Not private, does not private mean that if I'm an introvert, because I am, and I want to sit and read a book that somebody can come and interrupt me when they feel like it because we're all so sunshine and rainbows. It's not private. Do they imply, because looking at the photos, that the houses have windows all around and that you can't get curtains for it? Does not private imply that nothing in your home when the doors are closed and is innocent is sacred? that sentence is very vague, and they're going to have to go into and expound on what not private means. So to have something fully public, what does that look like in the future? And what are you giving up as far as your autonomy is concerned to live in this beautiful environment? Everything has a catch, and I'll be the first to tell you, if you go to the website, they tell you this is not going to be a utopia. So they're not lying. So it's not like they deceived. I want to put that out there. That's my first one. This is not a private city. For that piece alone, I can't live there. Me personally. I know a burp is coming because of this salt water. My bad, y'all. There it went. Number 2. Pioneers include corporations. Corporations, by definition, can bring in revenue, but by definition, they still look out for their own best interests. So if you've already involved corporations, then what harm or foul are they going to bring? And what evidence are you going to have that they're not going to cause more disruption and more chaos? Not all civilized societies see corporations as a good thing, because corporations shut down a lot of moms and pops. Corporations have a lot of toxicity, okay? So you need to flesh out that one, because people will want to know what that means. But I am not the naive type to say don't invite corporations at all. Everything can't be 100% pro. You just gonna have to know from the standpoint of a clean city, what does that mean? Last and not least, if you go look at the image of Telosa, how it's gonna look with the 5 million people in a couple of years, or however long it takes to build till it gets to 5 million. All you see is that city out in sprawling desert. If my family doesn't live in that city, how the heck am I going to get out of there? Then is the expectation that my entire immediate family has to be enclaved in there? Now, what if I feel like being in that city and living there most time, but I want to go for like a month or so and go live in Wellington, New Zealand, for example? Cape Verde, for example. What if I want to visit Tahiti once a year? Because they're putting this big city in this expansive, like either desert or whatever. You see plenty going on within the city, but you see virtually nothing on the outside of it. That's a beautiful ideal. So are you going to have traditional cars on the outskirts of the city that we can get in, drive, and then come back? Because that looks like something that once you walk in, you may not be able to walk out of it. Even if that's not their intent, it's the optics. See, this is why I chose not to use any of their literature and use stock photos. On that con, optics are important. So those are my pros and cons. Some will do something unusual that I don't do because I forgot to do it in the beginning of the video and I already done said all this stuff. Telosa is going to have clean green landscapes. And I am now subbed to a lovely lady in, Texas, one of the states that they love to build Telosa. Look it up, Homestead. She teaches you how to homestead and things. You can see some of her videos where there's gardening. I want to see her subs come up. I think she's the appropriate shout out to give in this video. It's a little too late. She may not see this live, and that's okay. But I want it to be known that green And living green has to start with us, and having to start to learn to have an intimacy with your food. Intimacy with your food can't be going to the grocery store and sniffing an apple. Apples didn't grow inside of the crate in the grocery store. They grew on a tree. So I encourage y'all to go to Hook It Up Homestead. Go sub to her channel. I think we do need to get more of an intimacy with our food and learn how to grow it. That intimacy can't start with just cooking at home. It has to start with growing your own herbs. I'm preaching to myself as well, because I quit growing food a few years ago and I severely regret it, and I need to get back in that in 2025. Now, temporarily back to our regularly scheduled program. So, they're already considering this city and beyond considering it when you go look at the video. Time is ticking away, right? Guess when and guess what year they want to start moving those first 50,000 people? It just take a wild guess. Ding, ding, ding. If you're not new to my channel and you know me, I beat this year 2030 like a dead horse, because you're talking about changing now. No, you're looking at theater when you look at television. Now, that's why I don't have cable anymore. A lot of all that mess is theater. Just about everyone's professionally acting now. But they have learned to play on your emotions. See, this year is about to be a significant thing, because go look at 2030 predictions, Google it. Everything's about to change for everybody in this country that year. I don't know that you're going to wake up on January 31st and everything is going to fall apart. Ask yourself why this year is significant, and why, if you have not started to make moves by that year. I'm saying right now, before 2030, I'm giving y'all this warning. This is true. I'm not trying to scare you. They want to start moving people into this city in 2030, and it's 2025. Don't play yourself. This is moving fast. What did I tell you? What did I predict about 2030? Come on, kids, leave some comments either in the comment section, or leave some in this chat, since we're on this live right now. What did I tell y'all about that gloom and doom? I'm not going to clip that video, because I'm going to keep beating this dead horse. And every time something comes up discussing that year, we're going to discuss it, because I had told you about the city in Japan. But I stumbled upon this quite by accident. When I saw 2030, I said, boom, let's go. Let's do it. See, while certain people out here twerking and acting a fool and doing stupid stuff, while some people are worried about what celebrity broke up, who lied, cheated, and stole, the United States is doing what Japan is doing, which means a lot of places in the world are doing this now. And if your eyes are open and you're paying attention, you know well as I know. Time is ticking. Stop playing games. Get prepared. Because things are getting real crazy now. I'm just saying. It's January 2025. You still got 4 years and 11 months to start building something. Building communities, building brands, learning how to grow your own food, which is why I told you about Hook It Up Homestead. This is not a joke. This is not a drill. Because the first thing's going to happen to you is either you're going to become a thief, because it's going to be easier for people to steal from you, or you're going to constantly be stolen from, because now you're in a vulnerable position that's going to be harder to get out of. There's going to come a time when all of this is going to get hard. You know well as I do, because I'm going to keep up with this and cover these stories throughout the year and beat that dead horse the entire 2025, not because I believe in New Year's resolutions, but because this stuff is moving fast and you're here getting entertained and you're not building yourself up for a future. And it's gonna come a time when, because it's easy right now, people aren't going to have compassion for you, not because they lack empathy and understanding, not because they lack sympathy. And it's not even because it's on easy mode. It's because you're lazy and you'd rather be entertained. If I hadn't been making videos, I'm making soap. Within the next few weeks, some of it's going to Connecticut, some going to Mississippi, some going hopefully to Illinois. That's what I like to call it, sometimes joking around. I'm glad to have you all here. I'm glad y'all have good health. Let's build communities. Let's get it together. And let's get prepared for what's coming. Since these things are not off the ground yet, you have time to control it. You hit January 2030 or any time really in that year, and you have not started to build something, my condolences to you. Because you no longer have control.